Welcome to Backpage Blues. I'm joined by Charlie, the Hurricane Skillen from the Mail Online.
How are you, mate?
Not good.
No, me neither, really.
Not good at all. How are you?
Well, I was all right last summer.
Yeah,
No.
I was great in May.
Yeah, and now I feel terrible. I came into work early this morning, and everyone is what
On
we've
your
got
case.
to. Everyone's on my case about Chelsea. All the media are rightfully digging out Mourinho, digging out Chelsea, and
Do you
it's
know what,
not a
mate?
fun time to be a Chelsea fan.
Let's put that agenda aside. We've got
Yeah.
an agenda. Let's put it aside. What the hell is going on?
That question would probably be a good title for this episode of Backpage Blues.
That's actually quite true.
To be honest. The truth is, no one seems to quite know. But there's a lot of things behind the scenes, away from the pitch, that really aren't helping our performances on it. It all stems, really, a lot of it from Mourinho's relationship with the players, which is not what it once was. Mourinho is not a happy boy at the minute. He's really unhappy with his players, which, I mean, I think you could understand given their performances. Now, I don't like to keep going back to this, and I know people roll their eyes when this situation is brought up at the minute, but this thing with Eva Canario has really kind of caused divisions in the club. She was popular with the players. She was very popular with the club's hierarchy, including Roman Abramovich. And Mourinho picked a very bad enemy with Eva Canario. She's not actually been back to work for the 36 days or
Because
37 days since...
we were told that she was just going to be kind of removed from the bench momentarily, and she would be.
No, she's not actually been to work since then.
So is she still a club employee? Is she still
I mean, she is, because she's contracted to the club, but it's a very, very murky situation, and it's not one that's done Mourinho any favours with his relationship with anyone at the club. There's also another person Mourinho is kind of not very happy with at the minute, and that's Diego Costa. Obviously, Diego Costa's playing because he's so crucial to our attacking play, or our attacking players it should be anyway. But it kind of stems back from last season and his management of his injury, and also a little bit of his kind of professionalism and his attitude kind of off the pitch. And it's just things like, Chelsea had a week off after we won the title. Diego Costa took the mick a little bit, had an extra day off.
So when was that? After we beat Palace at home?
After we beat Palace at home.
So Mourinho gave the team a week off.
He
Costa took an extra day.
Took an extra day, sort of partying it up in Madrid, and he's not best pleased with Costa at the minute. It's just not a happy club to be at the minute, and it's back in May I really didn't think I was going to be sitting here talking to you about things like this. With Chelsea just above the relegation zone, and we're talking about these divisions in the club, and this is the catalyst I really think for these performances, because these are not bad players. This is not a bad team.
No. These are champions.
These are the Premier League champions, and there are such divisions in the camp, and such kind of things going on behind the scene. And
do you think there's different gangs? Do you think gangs have evolved in the club?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's gangs, but it's just little things ebbing away at the team spirit, ebbing away at the collective identity. And I think if there's one thing that Chelsea aren't doing at the minute, it's playing with a kind of collective identity. I don't think there's any cohesion in the team. I think the team look woefully unfit, and I think a lot of our problems can be underpinned by that. We came back to pre-season so late. We only played 3 games on tour.
That's very true, Charlie. But the season has been alive over a month now, so the players should be fit by now.
They should be, but we look so much less sharp than the other teams. We're second to every single ball. We're not tracking runners properly, and another thing that has come about is that there was reported yesterday was players like Hazard and Oscar and Costa and Willian. They'd like to play with a lot more flair than Mourinho offers, and obviously that's a criticism that's been levelled at Mourinho all the time. It's turned them into champions, so I've got kind of little sympathy, if I'm honest.
Also, I don't see how Mourinho can stifle the flair. He's expecting players to work hard and track back, but not necessarily not create beautiful goals.
No,
you
that's right.
Create as many beautiful goals as you want, as long as you track back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a long documented thing with Mourinho. He expects everyone to be involved in all phases of the play, which I think we want to see as well. You don't have many top teams which have a kind of luxury player that just kind of strolls about and doesn't really defend in the modern game anyway. There's a lot of pressure on Mourinho from the club's hierarchy. you know, there's a lot of pressure on him to play young players. I mean, you saw Kennedy came on against Everton.
Didn't have the best of games, did he?
He didn't. He didn't have a good game at all. But I mean, that can be expected.
Yeah, I'm not throwing any criticism at him.
He's
I'm
19.
simply stating the fact.
There's constant pressure to deliver another John Terry, another kind of a first player in 18 years that can really kind of come into the first team. That said,
should he be doing more though? Should Loftus-Cheek have been given more minutes of late?
Not really. I mean, I don't think so personally, but only because the games have been in such desperate situations. You're never going to bring Loftus-Cheek on when you're 2-0 down against Man City away.
No, but you might not if you're 2-0 down, but you may have played him. Like we had a few luxury games towards the end of the season last year.
Yeah.
Loftus-Cheek didn't really feature in enough of those. He probably didn't feature in enough games pre-season. Do you think that Mourinho's let the side down with regard to youth over the course of a year rather than over the course of a month?
Look, I'm not one that says we've got to play kids all the time. I don't believe in it personally. I don't believe that a club of Chelsea stature can get away with dropping points. You know, that's why I've never been wholly against Chelsea's kind of loan system. I was disappointed Solanke went out. I would have liked to see him be full choice striker. But apart from that, I can't really think of many that I'd want kind of in the squad. I would like to see Loftus-Cheek play more, but only if it's right. You know, he was brought on against Palace, played very well, but it didn't really help the team much because obviously Chelsea lost that game. Chelsea can't afford to keep losing games because the situation. Like we've both been on camera saying, you know, don't worry, you know, things will get better. But this situation is absolutely desperate now. Yeah. It really is.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was very quick to say, let's not panic after a 2-2 draw at home to Swansea on the first day.
Of course, yeah.
People were suggesting panic after we lost to the Red Bulls in New York. Of course I'm going to say don't panic in those situations. I haven't said that lately.
No.
My house is very much on like
panic mode.
Yeah, completely. I've banged that red button. There's panic stations. All systems are go on that front. I think it's really bad. But equally, we have it in us to get out of this. I firmly believe that we do. I firmly believe that Jose Mourinho is the right man to guide us out of this.
Absolutely. I think at this stage anyway, the worst thing that could happen is that Mourinho leaves this club. You know, although Mourinho is at the centre of a lot of this, I'm loath to kind of put the blame on him wholly anyway. I think some of the players' performances, especially some first choice senior players that have won Premier Leagues, that have won World Cups, has been pathetic. Yeah. You know, Ivanovic's performances have been awful. Fabregas has been a complete joke this season.
Costa.
Look, if Eden Hazard is even going to come close to the player that we think he is, you know, people are comparing him to Ronaldo and Messi last season. Ronaldo and Messi get their team out of scrapes. Hazard has been completely anonymous in every single game this season. Yeah, you know, so international world-class players have gone completely missing. So you see people going, oh well, Mourinho will go, Mourinho's out. You know, the guy knows more about football management than everyone on Twitter combined.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm loath to kind of completely blame Mourinho, but he, you know, it goes without saying he is at the centre.
The buck stops with him.
The buck stops with him, and you know he earns enough and he takes enough credit for the buck to stop with him when things go wrong. But some of these players are playing terribly, and I think this is a real interesting season now for Mourinho. It's kind of a challenge that he's never been faced with. He's never been faced with this poor start, really. He's never been faced. No. He's never been faced. Like, Chelsea are almost in the relegation zone, and this isn't after 2 games. It's you know, there's a lot of football being played. Man City, Man City are sprinting away. You saw a really decent Man United performance against Liverpool. You know, Arsenal are still picking up points.
Yeah.
So the situation is desperate. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, but you know, I still think Mourinho is the right man for the job.
Yeah.
And I think the players really have to put their ideas up.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. As always, guys, let us know what you think. Comment below. Tell us what you think. This is the most depressing Backpage.
I know. Usually we end like a joke or something. I can't even think of one.
Yeah, and please comment. Let us know what you think, and try and pull us out of this slump. And if you've enjoyed this video, why not click the subscribe button right now? Cheers for watching.